Hi everyone, welcome back. Hi Arwen.
Hi. You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. Really good. How are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. The sun is shining, Lauren, so I'm in a great mood.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to stay nice and sunny for the weekend for everyone. That'll be nice. Very welcome. Right, just while we're waiting for people to join, I can see there's a couple on already. So hi everyone, thanks for joining us. But just while we wait for a few more to join, just wanted to give everyone another reminder, because I've been spamming your inboxes and social and all the rest of it. But it's 2 weeks till Fit Show on Tuesday. So hopefully you've all planned in a visit to the NEC to come and see us. We're there from Tuesday the 29th to Thursday the 1st of May. So it's a 3-day show again at the NEC. We're in halls 9, 10 and 11. And we're on stand G38. And we'd love for you guys to come and see us. We've got loads of stuff going on the stand. We've got seminar appearances. So Elton's going to be on the seminar stage on the Tuesday morning, talking about State of the Nation, the presentation that we've done in partnership with Fencer. So that's all bringing all the barometer data and all that other really useful information from a few different sources, and just talking about how that is sort of shaping the next sort of year or so for installers. So really interesting stuff. Then he's also on the stage on Thursday morning talking about AI and digitalisation. So if you want to learn a bit more about the tools that are out there that can help you with that, then be sure to drop in and say hello to him there. We've got training sessions on the stand as well. So the lovely Arwen is doing a couple of training sessions, and Rebecca's going to be running some too. So on the Tuesday, Arwen's got one at 1:30, which is all on customising your business pilot system. Then on 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning, Arwen's back with the stock session. So if you join the stock webinar but want a little refresher or want Arwen to go through anything in a little bit more detail, and you're around on Wednesday, join us at 11 on the stand. Then at 1:30, Rebecca's going to be looking at status progressions. So we've had Arwen do status progressions, so we're going to have Rebecca doing it on the stand at the show. So obviously all the same stuff, because it's the same system we're talking about. But again, if you had any questions from the last one, do pop by and see us. And then on the Thursday afternoon at 1:30, when our feet will be very sore and we'll be counting down to show end, because it's going to be a really busy couple of days, Arwen's going to go through the app. So if there's anyone coming to the show who perhaps doesn't get a chance to watch webinars, or if there's anyone in your team that isn't always at a desktop, maybe they're out on site a lot surveying or fitting, whatever it might be, and they use the app, please tell them to pop along and see us, and we will be running through everything the app can do, a couple of things that have changed recently, and they can get any questions asked that they want. So
I'm just going to say as well, people can always just come and have a chat about the training and the webinars and things like that. We're always open to it. We're always open to talking about training. So
yeah, there's plenty of people on the stand to come and say hello to. We've got a lot of people there from Business Pilot, and a lot of our partners are going to be there as well. So Blink Payment are there. So if anyone's not signed up with Blink yet, they're just going to be along the way from us. We've got Fencer and GGF just across the way as well. They're just opposite our stand. And Wednesday night's going to be party night. So we're hosting the People in Glazing Society Pigs networking party in association with Fencer. And then we've also got a little cocktail party going around the corner, which we're doing in partnership with Everglade Windows again. So anyone that's been before knows that's a really good night. We are Hawaiian themed again, so please do wear a Hawaiian shirt, floral shirt, something a bit jazzy, and we'll be giving out flower garlands and having some nice cocktails, and just having a bit of fun. So if you've not got your tickets yet, hold on to the end of this webinar and I will whack on a QR code which will get you a VIP ticket, and you get access to the VIP lounge. So you get like free coffee and refreshments and bits through the day. You get free use of the cloakroom, and you can get front row seats at the seminar as well. So hold on to the end, guys. After the Q&A, I'll pop a little QR code on the screen. You can scan that and get registered for Fit. Right, we're looking good in terms of numbers. Hi, Phil. Phil's back. Dedicated. Hi, Phil. I'm going to have to get him a present. Phil, are you coming to Fit Show? I'm going to get you a goodie bag. Right, Cool.
Phil can have 2 flower garlands when he comes.
Phil can have 10 flower garlands if he wants, and 10 cocktails. Right, cool. Okie doke. Oh, Phil's going to be there Tuesday. Lovely. See you Tuesday, Phil.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. I think we've got a fair few people on now. So, Arwen, I will hand over to you.
Hey, I'm just going to share my screen with everybody. We can get started. So thank you, Lauren, and welcome back everyone to our bi-weekly webinar series. As Lauren mentioned, today's topic is job costs, and this is a key feature in Business Pilot that many of you are very excited to explore. So our job costs are really important because they will give you a much more accurate way to report on each individual project. And what this is going to allow your team to better understand is the profitability and to be able to forecast future performance. Now, today I'm going to be taking us through what a job cost is, where you can see these from within your system, how to upload these into your system, and finally, I will take you through how to report on these as well. So in order to do that, let's dive into the system and get started. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a job cost? So a job cost is any cost that is allocated against a contract within Business Pilot. Now, what these are generated from could be your costed purchase orders, your stock allocation, or even that manual entry. Now, this could be for things such as labour or even those one-off costs such as commissions or even scaffolding. Now, these are often the type of costs that you may have previously tracked from outside of Business Pilot. So today, what I wanted to show you is how easy it is to upload and track them directly within the system. And what that's going to do is bring all of your data in one place. Now, not only is that going to be useful for all of you internally, but it is also going to prompt some very seamless reporting tools. So let's move on to where we can see our job costs. So you can view your job costs from within a contract record, and you will find this under the Finance tab. So I'm going to head into a contract. And you'll see at the end here, I have the Finance tab. Now, a quick tip. If this tab is not visible for you, then this could be due to a role restriction. If this needs to be amended, then your super admin can enable this for you under our admin settings and under users. So from within the Finance tab, you'll see that we have a job costs sub-tab here. Now, in this particular contract, you'll see that I have my costed purchase orders. I also have some stock items allocated. What I'd also be able to see in here is any manual added costs. Now, I will be taking you through a little bit later how to add these costs in, and we'll be able to see how they appear in here as well. Back to our visibility. Now, alternative to just in a contract record, you can also see this via the main menu, and you can navigate to our Finance tab. Now, under our Finance tab, you'll see here that we have divided this by live job costs and our all job costs. I'm going to tick into my live. And this is going to give you the grid view of all of your current live job costs. Now, like all other grid views from within Business Pilot, this is going to allow you to drag and drop any columns that you need. You can apply any filters from within here as well. And you can also save any views to be able to come back for any repeated use. So let's move on to how you can input a job cost. So there are two main ways in which to do this, and for the first one, I'm going to direct us back into a contract. My contract, I'm going to navigate back to my job costs tab. And from within here, I'm now going to click on Add Cost. Now, firstly, I'm going to select a supplier. Then I'm going to choose my cost type. Now this is allocating your nominal code. So for example, I've got my purchase orders, my purchase invoices, or if I was putting in my labour costs, I might choose to use my wages nominal. I'm then going to add in an invoice reference and my invoice date. I then over here have my yes or no toggle for whether this is a credit and whether it needs to be exported to my accounting software, such as Xero, Sage or QuickBooks. Then I'm going to move down to my order items and I'm going to begin to put in my details. Now for further example here, this could be labour, it could be commissions, or for my example today, I'm going to put in my skip hire. Then I'm going to enter my net value. And I'm also going to ensure that I have selected the correct VAT code. Confirmed all my details, I can then click on the plus icon at the end. And then from here, I'm going to click Create. So I have now allocated that cost against my contract. For my second example to you today, I'm going to be taking us into our live job cost area. And there is two main points I'd like to talk about in here. The first one is you will see you've got an add cost button that lives within here as well. And if you choose to allocate your costs here as opposed to in the contract itself, it does give you the addition of the contract drop down. So it will allow you to select the contract you would like to allocate your cost to. The second thing I wanted to show you in here is our bulk upload button. Now to talk to you about our bulk upload, I also need to talk to you about our job cost import sheet. So I'm going to pull that up for us now. And what you'll see here is an import sheet we have created, and this is designed to then be uploaded into our system. So it is going to ask you for key details such as order date, supplier, that cost type in here as well. And you can then input your contract number and description, and then your net amount and your VAT code. So we're asking you for very similar information as to what we ask you for when you're uploading those costs. Now, once you have input in all this information, we would ask you to save this file as a CSV file. By doing so, that's going to allow you to then be able to upload this into our system. So once you have saved this as a CSV, we can then head back into Business Pilot, and then we can go onto our bulk upload. I can then click here whether I want to upload the CSV file and including our headers. And then I'm going to click on Select Files. And then select that file that I saved earlier. And I'm then going to click on Upload. It's then going to prompt me to select a template that is going to match to my fields. Now, I have previously created one, but you will see here, if I hadn't, I do have the option to add a new template. So if all of my data is correct, I can then click Update and use Template. Now you will see below here that if there are any fields missing, I now have the option to correct them in order to be able to import them correctly. So for this one, I'm going to manage my supplier. And I'm just going to fill in those missing fields. Once I've done that and I'm happy with the rest of my data, I can click on Save. Click Save again. Then we'll see here that has added in my item lines and they have allocated those as a job cost against our contract numbers as specified in the import sheet. Helpful tip with our import sheet might be that you only choose to do this, say, on a bi-weekly basis or even on a monthly basis. This really is from within your control, but it does create such ease around uploading those job costs into the system. So just to recap, we know what qualifies as a job cost. We know where to view these from within the system. And we now also know how to input these job costs into our system. So what I finally wanted to talk to you about is how you can report on your job costs. So to do this, firstly, I want to head into our live job costs area. As always, what is a good way to point out here is that you've got your export to Excel button and you've also got your export to PDF. If you were looking to create more of a bespoke report as well, just remember that if you have created and saved your own personalised view, when choosing to export to Excel, you have got the option to export visible. And what this is going to do is only export the version that you have created. So that's how we might look to create more of a bespoke report. But how about the reports area that we offer and how the job cost can be reported on from within there? So I'm going to head through my main menu and down to my reports. And I'm then going to locate my job cost report. Now you'll see in the drop down for the report date type that I have the option to do this by revenue recognition date, contract completion date, or I can do my contract date, which includes my live contracts. Now I can then choose my date period. So if I choose to start from the beginning of the year, for example, I would put in my 1st of January and then I can leave my 2 into today's date or the end of the month date. Now I then have the option to either download this in PDF or Excel. Now today I wanted us to take a look at the Excel version. So I firstly wanted to take you through the fields that are within this report. So starting with the customer and sales info. So the fields around here, we've got the customer, we've got the contract number, as well as the contract type, the salesperson, and the sales date. Now we also have the revenue figures here, and for those we have provided the net value and the invoiced net. We then move on to more of a specific breakdown, and in here we have a column for the job costs. We then have the costs against the material, survey, sales, fitting, remake, consumables, and any of those other costs. Now on top of that, you will have a total costs column included in here as well. We're then going to move over onto more of the profitability metrics here. So with this, we have included for a job profit column, and this is going to be the job profit on the value as well as on the invoices. You're also going to have a job profit percentage, again on values and on your invoices. Now, in addition to this, you also have your target profit percentage. Now, with all of these columns available, what you're going to find is the main purpose and benefits of this report is this is going to be able to track your financial performance per contract and per customer. Now, you're also going to be able to track your profitability, and it's going to be based on those values and invoices, as well as providing that cost breakdown over those materials and surveys, etc. Now, not only that, it is also going to be a great report for that sales tracking, either by person or by contract type. With also having that margin analysis, you're going to be highlighting or be able to highlight where you're potentially under or even overperforming. Now, not only that, it is also going to be able to give you that job status insight for some of those partially invoiced or even those more low profitable jobs in here as well. So a few helpful tips that I wanted to talk about just while we're still in this job cost report is when we talk about your purchase orders being driven against a job cost. If you have still have provisional costs from your suppliers, then that is what is going to drive the job cost. When that provisional price gets overridden by the invoice being received, that is then going to override that provisional cost that you were first reporting on. Now, in addition to that, I wanted to acknowledge that in your survey, sales and fitting costs columns, what ensures that these are populated is the toggles used from within your nominal codes area. So I want to take us into there to demonstrate this further, and I'm going to find this from within my admin menu. Under your finance section, you'll see nominal codes. So if I draw your attention to the purchase invoice nominal code, you'll see that I have this ticked for suppliers and a material cost. Now, if I had this ticked against a survey cost or a fitting cost or even a remake cost, then that is what is going to drive that report from within the job costs area. So when I allocate a job cost against a nominal code that had those costs ticked, then that is what is going to be driving those figures into that job cost report. So that is our job cost area in Business Pilot. So I wanted to part today by leaving you with my top 3 tips in getting started with inputting your job costs. So my first tip would be to trial a few jobs. Now, this is really just to see how close you can get in terms of accurate reporting. So also my suggestion would be to trial both entry methods that we have talked about today, and you're going to figure out what works best for you. If you feel that you benefit more from putting this in on a job-to-job basis, and that's easier for your own personal management, or you might even prefer to have the import sheet just available to you and updating this, like I said earlier, on more of a bi-weekly or even monthly basis. I think either way, getting that data into the system is what's crucial, and that's what's going to allow you to start using some of those reports that we've talked about today, and also to be able to track that a little bit more accurately than potentially how you can now. My second tip would be to tidy up your nominal codes. Now, for many of you, it might be that you have had your same nominal codes in since you were onboarded, or it might be that they have still gone in the same format. So certainly come in to take a look and just make sure that you have all the relevant boxes ticked that you need to. Because these do drive your reporting categories, it is crucial in making sure these are set up to your correct standards. And lastly, I want to advise you to clarify your margins. So knowing your target profit percentage allows you to be able to track this from within those reports, and that's going to encourage you a little bit further to put those costs in and try and get that as close to the penny as we possibly can. And that brings us to the end of our webinar on our job costs. And I hope you have found this session valuable, and I hope it has given you all the confidence to start using this wonderful feature. Now, we do really appreciate your feedback, and it does help us make these webinars even better. So a feedback form is going to be sent around shortly, and I'd be really grateful if you could take a moment to complete it. Now, I know that I've had a few questions come over already, so I'm going to start getting those answered now. And if you do have any more, then please pop them in the comments below. And thank you again, and I'll get those questions answered.
Nearly did the rookie error of not unmuting everybody.
I did spot it.
We need like a code, some sort of sign language. Great stuff. Thanks for that, Arwen. That was a really good session. The bulk upload thing on the job costs is really good, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
if you've not got time to just be dipping in and out of it as you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And even if you're like a long-standing user of the system and haven't been using them, maybe you'll find that a bit easier because it won't feel like an extra step in the system as such. So yeah, I think that'd be good for most users. Absolutely.
Right. Okay, I've quickly done a new background. So VIP Fit Show ticket QR code is now live. Look at me go. Super speedy. Should have done that this morning. Thought about it first thing and then completely forgot. Anyway, guys, if you scan that QR code, then you can register for your VIP tickets for Fit Show. I will also drop the link onto the follow-up email that I will send out later today. Right, couple of questions to go through that I've had through on email. If anyone else has got any other questions, please do let us know. I've not had any come through while I've been running through that. But Arwen, let's get your screen back up.
Okay.
First.
Cool. I'm just testing it. There we go. Not getting quite out again.
My Fit Show QR code's over that top corner. We'll be all right. It'll be fine. Right, let me just check that's gone live. Yeah, okay, cool. Lovely. Okay, so first question, do I need to create my installers as a contact to allocate a cost? So I guess it's like subcontractors, potentially?
Yeah, that's it. So I'm guessing this is probably because of the labour or even commission, something like that. If you do want to put them against a specific person, you will create them as a contact as you ordinarily would. But in the contact type, you would just put them as a supplier as opposed to any of the other options. You would put them in as a supplier contact. When you select supplier, you can give them a default nominal code and VAT code as well. So when we were talking about allocating those against costs, I could say for John, my installer, I always select the default nominal code that I need for him, and it would always fall under T0 or T1 for my VAT code.
Cool. Okay. Brilliant. Another one through an email. How do I amend my nominal code to include being a survey cost?
Okay, so if you go into your admin menu, so the same steps as what we went through in the video, but I'll actually take us into a nominal code to show you. Okay, so if I say for my purchase invoices, if I wanted to add that to be a survey cost, I can click into the pencil and then it will bring you up yes or no toggles against each of those columns. So I would just find survey cost and I would toggle it over to yes. And then just in the bottom corner, remember to save it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that'll tick the survey cost column. So then when I do any export to do with my job costs, it would then allocate that against a survey cost as well for any that fell under that nominal code.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We've just had one come in from Phil. Should I be giving all of my customers a nominal code?
No, so they don't tend to be per customer. They tend to be per contract type most of the time, but it's normally to do with your accounting. So sometimes people might have a nominal code to do with sales, so just your customer invoices, and then you'll have a separate nominal code for, say, your purchase invoices. So a lot of the time they'll be driven by more contract type than they would, or lead type, but more so than customer based. It would be more based on the contract, or potentially if you have a different one for different material, you might have a different one for your aluminium contracts, for example, but they're more driven that way. If Phil's unsure on it, I can always pick up with him separately about what accounts he uses and where he can find his nominal codes and bits like that. I can pick up with him separately.
Cool. Okay. If that's not answered it, Phil, let us know and we'll get Arwen to reach out to you and you can go through that in a little bit more detail. Lovely. Okay. Nothing else come through at the moment, so I think once again you've just done a cracking job. The only thing I wanted to check in on was the job cost import sheet.
Oh yeah.
Where do we get hold of that?
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, you could probably send it out with your follow-up email to everybody, because I personally have a copy of it. So I don't know if we have it accessible to everybody in one particular place. So if you maybe want to send it with the follow-up email, I can send it over to you.
Yeah, let's do that. If you pop that over to me, I'll pop a link to that on the follow-up email that goes around later, and then everyone's got a copy of that if they need to, just so Katie in support doesn't get a bunch of calls later going, I'm going to bulk upload my job costs.
Yeah, I'll pop a copy over to you later.
Okay. Thank you. That's great. Right, Phil said thanks for that. It would be good to discuss further. So, Arwen, if you could reach out to Phil when you get a chance, that would be fab. Looks like that's everything. So, thank you very much. Another great webinar. We will be back 2 weeks' time, which is the 25th of April, Friday the 25th, and we're going to be looking at the schedule board, so managing your schedule board. So that'd be another good one, and that's the one.
I forgot the topic, so I thought, don't ask me.
What are we doing, are we? Not sure. Excuse me. Obviously, that's the one right before Fit Show. So if we both look quite panicked, don't worry. We're fine.
Lack of sleep.
But yeah, if you haven't registered for your Fit Show tickets, please do register. We'd love to see you there. Please come and see us. It would be great to see as many Business Pilot users at the show as we can. We've got some new features to talk about, training. We're all there to answer your questions and help you get as much as you can out of the system. So yeah, if we don't see you in 2 weeks' time on the webinar, we will catch you at Fit Show. Have an amazing sunny weekend. Thanks, Arwen.
No worries. Nice to see you all, virtually.
Take care, everyone. Bye.